Welcome to a special edition of Cookbook Junction. Here, I journey beyond the recipes into the people, the places, and the powerful stories that shaped our shared table. I'm your host, Celintia. Last time, we uncovered the remarkable legacy of Mrs. Melinda Russell, the first African American woman to publish a cookbook. Her story began with a recipe, but it was really about resilience, survival, and the will to create beauty out of hardship. In part 2, we follow the scent of something fried, simple, golden, and steeped in folklore. It's a dish that traveled from the rivers of the Carolinas to tables across America. Some called it red horse bread, but most know it today as hush puppies. In fact, I'll do my best to make some myself for the first time at the end of the show. Behind every crispy bite is the story of people who made it possible, from the enslaved cooks who mixed corn and memory together to one remarkable man named Romeo Govan who turned a humble bread into history. Before there were hush puppies, there was corn and coastline. Indigenous peoples in the American South had perfected the art of growing and grinding corn long before Europeans arrived. Cornmeal was more than an ingredient. It was life, ceremony, and daily sustenance. When enslaved Africans were forced onto this land, they brought with them the skill of frying, transforming doughs and batters into something crisp, golden, and sustaining. From those two food traditions, indigenous corn and African frying, came the foundation of early Southern fried breads. They appeared as ash cakes, fritters, and corn dodgers. By the late 1800s, along the rivers of South Carolina and Georgia, this fried cornmeal began to take on a name and a champion. His name was Romeo Govan. Born enslaved around 1845, Govan later built a small riverside clubhouse along the Edisto River after the Civil War. It became a local gathering place for fish fries where people came to eat, laugh, and enjoy his cooking. Newspapers of the early 1900s called him a famous cook of the old regime. He fed governors, senators, sportsmen, and travelers, but what many remembered most was his fried fish and the bread he served beside it, a simple cornmeal fritter known as red horse bread. There are no known photographs of Romeo Govan. His face is lost to time, but his legacy survives in the dish he made famous. The name came from red horse fish that filled the Edisto River. Govan fried the fish first in cast iron, then dropped spoonfuls of cornmeal batter into the same pork fat, a technique that deepened the flavor and wasted nothing. Like most Southern stories, the truth behind hush puppies isn't a straight line. It's a crossroads of fact, memory, and myth. One version says fishermen tossed bits of fried batter to hush their barking dogs by the riverbank. Another says Confederate camp cooks used them to silence hounds before enemy patrols passed. These are the stories that made it into print. It's amusing, harmless, easy to repeat. But African American oral tradition holds another layer. Quick fried cornmeal used to quiet dogs and calm hunger during secret escapes from slavery. Whether literal or symbolic, the meaning resonates. Food wasn't just nourishment, it could be protection. Folklore doesn't always live in documents, but it lives in memory. By the early 20th century, this fried cornmeal had traveled far beyond the rivers. As African Americans migrated north and west, hush puppies followed, carried in memory, shaped by taste, and adapted to new kitchens. In Black churches, they became a Friday fish fry tradition. Families added their own touches, like onions, peppers, a touch of sugar. Each variation told a story. By the 1940s, hush puppies were appearing in coastal restaurants, tourist stops, and magazines. They had gone mainstream, but their roots remained in African American foodways. Today, hush puppies sit beside catfish, shrimp, collard greens, and barbecue. Small, simple, but full of soul. Now I know there are many variations of hush puppies out there, but here's my take on a modern hush puppy inspired by a tradition made with simple ingredients like cornmeal, flour, baking powder, salt, pepper, cayenne powder, garlic powder, onions, buttermilk, and an egg, and of course a touch of sugar. This recipe I'll have linked in the description box below. Now I just mixed the dry ingredients in a bowl, including the remaining spices and sugar. Beat the egg and the buttermilk together in a separate bowl. And then blend the egg mixture with the dry ingredients. Now add the onions. You want a thick batter, soft enough to drop, firm enough to hold its shape. The oil should be hot between 350 and 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Spoon about a tablespoon of the batter into the oil. When the batter hits the hot oil, it puffs and browns beautifully, about 2 minutes on each side. Now I'm also making a quick dipping sauce of mayo and sriracha, or you could make your own tartar sauce if you want. Drain these on paper towels, and I have to say, for my first time making these, it was really good. But I think next time I'll definitely fry up some catfish to go along with this. Hush puppies may be small, but their story is not. They remind us that the simplest foods often carry the deepest histories, born from survival, shaped by resourcefulness, and transformed into celebration. From indigenous corn to African frying traditions, to Romeo Govan and countless unnamed cooks, this little bread holds a legacy. Today, hush puppies mean comfort, community, and creativity, a reminder how African American cuisine moved from survival to soul. In our next and final episode, we explore one of the biggest questions in American food. What's the difference between Southern food and soul food? And why has that line been blurred, borrowed, and sometimes erased? Join me for part 3, Soul Food versus Southern Food, Reclaiming the Narrative. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do, it means a lot. And let me know if you have a recipe for hush puppies you'd like to share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.